So hello and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is one of the two coffee mugs I bought for myself over Christmas. It's my sugar skull. I've been filming today and we've had lots of issues, and so I'm kind of in a scully mood, so to speak. Today's tea is my Stash Organic Chocolate Orange, which I really enjoy. Been in a chocolate mood today, so we're doing chocolate teas. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a taste. Shouldn't taste any different than usual, but here we go. So I'm getting a lot of the chocolate first this time around. It hasn't steeped very long, so maybe it needs a little more time for the orange to show up. It's very hot, but it is a very good tea, and I'm sure by the end of our video, that orange will be showing up. It's definitely hitting my chocolate notes that I really kind of need today. Like I said, it's already been a day. Anyway, so today we are going to talk about the first of my birthday palettes. As you recall, we had my birthday bash, and I had a ton of birthday stuff. In fact, it's not just birthday palettes. I've got also another brand that I want to talk about. So we have one palette, and we have one of the mystery boxes that I received to talk about today. So let's get started. The first is the Azrian Glistening Beauty palette. Nice sturdy cardboard. This was like $15, I believe. Lots of beautiful bright colors. The one thing that I like about these particular shadows is the colors you see in the pan are pretty representative of the color that you will get. Some don't work as well as others, but overall it's a fairly decent palette. Yellow doesn't work on me, but that's pretty standard for drugstore yellows. It's got some beautiful colors in it. And here you'll see how some of them don't quite build up, quite match up. They do take some building on the eyes, for me anyway. But the palette is pretty on par with most drugstore palettes. Not quite Milani, but I would say a little bit better than NYX in some cases. The mattes actually perform much better on my eyes than they do in the swatches. I've had a few things that come out like that, so they do very well with that. Like I said, it does take some building, and they don't stand up to my eye issues very well. I have put a little bit of the darker purple in over a blue that I have on in the crease. I really like how that came out. There's very little kickback, but there is some fallout, so you do have to watch out for that. And some colors don't perform as well as others, as I've mentioned. You can see that the dark purple and the yellow aren't performing well. This is that bright pink. I do wish this palette had a few more shimmers. Basically, we have 4 shimmers. And I think this one here, well, what are you? Yeah, you're a matte. It's a matte. The dark, that blue is more of a matte. It does appear to have just a touch of like a shimmer, almost like a satin in it, but it's not quite. So I really do wish there were a couple more shimmers in here than it currently has. However, it does make a good palette for somebody who hasn't worked with bright colors before and is nervous about them, because like I said, they do take building up, so they could start with a lighter wash of color and slowly build up and get used to the bright colors that they are trying to learn to work with. I do think that this is a good palette. It is worth the money. It's not a Violet Voss palette, so it's not going to end up being like on my absolute favorites. But that said, it is a very good palette. It is worth the price that you pay. Like I said, about $15, I think it was. And it does perform fairly well for that price point, it is one that I will keep. It is one that I will continue to use. And it is a brand that I will continue to watch. They've put out some new things recently, and we'll see if I can get some more this year. We all know I'm on a very low buy this year. Already making decisions about things I'm not buying. So, and with my, you know, I do try to get somewhere between 9 and 12 new brands. I try them out through the year. So we'll have to see if I can get more of their stuff. But I do recommend them. They're active on Instagram, and you get to see things there and looks and stuff like that. So the Azrian palette, I do recommend it if you're looking for a fairly well-performing, lower-priced, quote-unquote, drugstore type palette. The colors are gorgeous. They almost all work for me. The yellow is pretty standard. I have problems with yellows across the board pretty much. So, yeah, really nice palette. Do recommend it. It's not going to be a luxury brand palette, but it is a very good, quote-unquote, everyday palette for someone who's trying to work with brights or wants brights that aren't going to cost a lot of money. So they're really good. It's not, I really like the palette is pretty standard with the mirror and this to protect the mirror, and the colors are they're just beautiful. The oranges actually kind of really impressed me because I do also tend to have problems with oranges on my face. Must be that whole, they're leaning towards brown thing. I don't know. Light pinks, browns, and some oranges. And then, of course, yellow. Just, I don't know. It's my face. Just, I don't know. So the next one I want to talk about, like I said, isn't a palette. It's a company. It's Vanessa's Vanity. I think I've mentioned before, in fact, these guys probably came up in my favorites. I have been really enjoying the mystery box she sent me. It came with these 3 larger pans here, these 2 smaller pans, and these 2 loose powders. I'm going to start with these. I actually haven't used these smaller ones very much. They're in colors that I don't use very often. However, they are nicely pigmented. They have a beautiful sheen to them. So they're very gorgeous. I have used these larger ones a bit more frequently. This one in particular, I've used, in fact, I have it on my face today along with one of the powders. These are also very pigmented, beautiful colors. My biggest problem child out of the 3 is electric. I have a hard time getting that one to really make a showing. These are kind of, they're like highlighters. I have used them actually on my eyes to brighten up colors. You can see Angelique is just beautiful. This is really gorgeous. This is Angelique. I have used them on my eyes to include brightness or increase brightness on my eyes. I do enjoy using them. I go back to Angelique frequently. I do try to use electric a lot. Electric actually has that beautiful greenish shift. Lightest, if you can see it, the last one here is electric. It has a beautiful sort of greenish shift in it that is absolutely beautiful, but I do have trouble getting it to actually perform on my eyes. I did try it once or twice on my cheek. I don't like the effect, but that's just me. I think it does make for a good top coat when you want to brighten up a color. It does work really well for that over some greens. The rose one I have used on my cheeks a little bit. I don't use it very often. So Angelique is one of my favorites, but they are all fairly pigmented, and other than the problems that I've had with electric, they work really well. Have become some of my favorites. I reach for this palette precisely to get to the Vanessa Vanities more often than not. I don't think, in fact, I don't think Well, I have used this row here. This little row here came from my Urban Decay that shifter palette they had. These were the only things that ended up being interesting out of that palette. I do have reached for those upon occasion, but yeah, more often than not, I get in here to get into the Vanessa Vanities, and I do reach for this quite frequently. The loose powders are just amazing. I use this one in the inner corner of my eye. This one is Angel Wings. It's a beautiful silvery white. Like I said, it goes into the inner corner of my eye quite frequently. This is not going to give it justice, I can already tell you. But there's Angel Wings. It's a gorgeous silvery white. It's just beautiful. They're very fine powders, very pigmented. I do not reach for Lavender Flame, I think it's called. Get on there, lid. I do not reach for the Lavender Flame nearly as much as I do for the Angel Wings. I did throw it over my highlighter today to give my highlighter a slightly more purple shift. So there's Lavender Flame, not quite as shiny, but again, it's a beautiful color. I do love the color. It's just something I use more to brush up other colors than anything else. I have Angelique and Lavender Flame on my cheek today. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. I can get a little closer. Okay, so you can kind of see that purple sheen. So that's from Angelique, and mixing Angelique and Lavender Flame. And I did put a little Lavender Flame under my eyes, although, again, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that. So, because, you know, my filming setup is terrible. But I highly recommend Vanessa's Vanity. She had her current mystery boxes have been running $35 to $38. She did have one over Christmas that was $20. I think it was over Christmas. It might have been a little earlier than Christmas. And I actually wanted to get another mystery box because she's really got some good products. I really wanted to see what else she would send my way. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford it at the time. However, I highly, highly recommend her pigments and powders and highlighters. They're gorgeous, as you can see. They definitely do work on your face very, very well. They have a beautiful coloration and shine. I need to get a hold of some of her mattes and see how well her mattes do. That's what I need to try next. But at this point, she has become... Vanessa's Vanity is run by a Vanessa. She has become one of my favorites for last year of 2018. I do think I showed up for that. Should put her in that list. I swear I can talk. Like I said, it's been a day. So I highly recommend her. Her prices, I think the highlighters run about $8. So she's about the level of ColourPop with some really decent pigmentation behind it. The only thing that I find a little discouraging sometimes is her shipping can take a little longer. Her shipping can take a couple of weeks. But from what she has said, she is the sole worker, the sole person running the business. So she doesn't have anybody else to do the shipping for her, to pack and label and send. So that's probably why it takes so long. Once she ships, she sends you tracking and everything comes right away. She's very responsive in email. You can actually write to her on you can go to she's in Etsy, I believe. You can go to your order and contact her via your order, make a comment on your order, even after your order is done, and she will respond to you within a day or two. So the one downside to her is it does take a little time for her to get her stuff out, but honestly, I think they're worth the wait, and I've not heard anything about her not fulfilling orders. So, but she is still fairly new to me. But I still recommend her. I think her products are great, and I am looking forward to trying more. So those are the two things. It's short and sweet today. Those are the two things that I'm from my birthday bash that I'm finally kind of reviewing and getting out of the way. We had so much from the birthday bash, so there's a lot for me to finish going through. But I hope that you will give both of these indie brands at least some of your consideration and time. Consider buying from them. Buy, okay? The next time you're looking for some decent shadows or a beautiful highlighter or whatever you will, gorgeous colors. I love the fact that her shimmers are not just a bunch of chunky glitter and something, you know. Her glittery colors are, yes, there's glitter in there, but it's not like it's going to fall all over your face. For Vanessa's Vanity, I want to try more of the glistening beauty products, and anyway, yeah, so do give them your consideration and consider picking up from them. I think they're both cruelty-free and all that stuff, so they're worth your time and worth some of your money if you're looking for new products to buy. So that's it for today. It's a real short one, and I do hope you like what you've seen. And if you're not subscribed, I hope you will subscribe and, you know, hit the notification bell so you know when I upload. And if you are part of the notification squad, yes, you need to go ahead and check your bell just in case YouTube has knocked it off for you. Still doing it to me. It has been very, very random of late. Very random. I will have notifications from a channel and everything will be fine, and then I'll get another notification and all of a sudden the bells turn off. So you do need to watch it. It just doesn't seem to have a rhyme or a reason. Hopefully they're trying to fix it. Anyway, if you are not a subscriber and you choose not to subscribe, well, we'll be sad, but hopefully you will come back again. And when you do come back again, don't forget to bring your cup of tea. Yes, we're starting to get some of that orange now. It's beautiful. I love this tea. I need more of this tea. Need more of this tea. I hope you all have a great day. Bye.